Hello everyone, it's going to be a quick video this evening as not much happened in the overall market. Decent pullback today by the NASDAQ, down 0.46%. Volume was lower than the session before. S&P 500 also down 0.32%. Volume was lower than the session before, and the Russell 2000 down 0.82%, leading the way to the downside. But volume was also lower than the day before, and the biotechs actually, as you can see, by the XBI and the IBB held up relatively well compared to the market. So overall, today's pullback, no harm, no foul. It's just day one of a nice orderly pullback. It's good to see. We need it. It would be nice to see us actually kind of pull back to these lows here in the NASDAQ, which would coincide with the 50-day moving average and then bounce higher. However, if that happens, I'm sure we'll be cut out of a lot of recent long signals. And speaking of that, GSG has completely failed. It's a 100% loss, or 100% sell, 100% loss. That'd be hilarious. Final sell stop was 1337. Wanted to give it this big powerful move in that low because I knew that it wouldn't be a smooth ride. But GSG, after gapping down on Friday, moved up my final sell stop to 1347. Obviously moved below that right in the morning, so I was out. But on a closing basis, GSG is fully done. It's unfortunate. Well, what's fortunate is that it still is max green bop. So if it retakes its 50-day moving average, it's an add back candidate, and it could still go higher. But whenever I look at like what coffee did today, for instance, and then look at the agricultures, and then DBC selling off on heavier volume, I really doubt it. So GSG is 100% sell, and then SWHC. One of two gun stocks closing below its 50-day moving average on well above average volume, heavy volume with red bob. That is also a 50% sell, but because the move is so severe and such a major crack and has destroyed the uptrend, the new final sell stop gets immediately moved up to today's low of day, 2245. If I get knocked down, it reverses, then it becomes a buyback candidate. But for now, it's goner. And then FCPT is closing below its 20-day moving average for the second session in a row. The first move yesterday was on Friday was on below average volume. Today, while it is below average volume did pick up. So the first sell stop gets raised up to 1730. And for now, the final one remains 1598. But like I said, I doubt that comes into play. We'll probably be completely out by the time it even tries to get to 1647. But for now, I'm going to keep my final sell stop at 1597. Moving the first one up from 17, this low day right here, to today's low day, 1730. So FCPT is a 50%er. That's it on an end-of-day basis. Intraday, I also got knocked out of HBP. Finally, it was a full sell on an end-of-day basis 2 days ago, as it's immediately reversing on heavier volume, thinner overall stock, and low price stock. Not anything I'm interested in. Of course, by the end-of-day basis today, it's fine, but in the very early morning at the opening bell, whenever it opened, I got knocked out. So HBP is a goner for me finally. But, I'll continue to track it. And if it breaks out, would I want to rebuy it? No. This BOP is getting worse. Volume is not accumulating following the big reversal in heavier volume, so I have no interest in setting buy stops above 394. And then also intraday today, why am I drawing a mental blank? Oh my goodness. What did I get? AGRO. That was it. AGRO. I got nice. I maybe should take notes before I make these videos. But AGRO actually moved my final sell stop to move below the 1130, the 322 low a day, as the volume was huge on that takeout of the 50-day moving average. I personally didn't want to be long if it moved below that because it should reverse higher immediately. Instead, AGRO is rolled over. 1127 is where it's closed. I've been knocked out of it completely, but on an end-of-day basis, it is not a sell. It will need another above-average volume sell-off here below the 50-day moving average to become a full sell. And if it doesn't do that, and if it continues to pull back on lower volume, then the 200-day moving average is where the final sell stop would be, because where the 200-day moving average is now compared to where we went long, we'll still leave with a gain on that, or you would still be able to leave with a gain on that position. So for now, it's AGRO. There are 3 new long positions. All of them are very potentially high reward, extremely low risk situations. The best of the best is PFGC. This is a food stock. It's number 1 in its industry group. It's its second pocket pivot point signal in a week. It's right off the 50-day moving average. Our first cut loss is right below these lows. Our second cut loss level is right below these lows. Very, very coiled stock. Their PRMW is still doing good in the group. JBSS still looks good. Tyson Foods is still uptrending, so overall food stocks look strong. That is going to be 4% position, 2% for being the Can Slim scam, 1% for being a recent IPO, initial public offering, and then 1% for being confirmed in the price volume BOP scan, total of 4% new long position. And then STRS, thin stock, but it's Can Slim quality. So, make sure it's limit orders only. Don't pay up too much for it. Maybe do buy stop limits orders too. So, like for instance, if I do 2406, I might not want to pay more than 2410. So it's 2406, 2410 for me for the limit. But another pocket pivot point signal near the 50-day moving average. This thing has had a flurry of pocket pivot point signals since February. Appears to be under strong accumulation. Good uptrend. If we're wrong, not too bad. First sell stop is just below these lows. And then the final one will be right below this move here, the pocket pivot point signal day. However, on intraday basis, I probably will go ahead and use these absolute lows just because it's a volatile tape. I don't expect things to work the way that they should be working in an uptrending market, especially as we continue this below average volume uptrend. But STRS Can Slim 2% was also in my max green BOP for 5-day scam, 1%, so total 3% position. And then the final long is CHFC. Can Slim quality only, was not confirmed in any other scan. Small banks, regional banks have been looking very, very good everywhere lately. And that's because interest rates are slightly rising. I think there's going to probably be another 2 by the end of the year. Don't see how we'll have 3 or less than 2. So I assume that we'll have 2 more interest hikes going into the end of the year. And that will help these banks make a little bit more money, which is probably what these stock charts are anticipating. So they continue to look good. Buyback candidates still on the board. XRS been fully knocked out of it, but still, watching it. HHI is completely knocked out of. If it can get green BOP again, it will return to being a buyback candidate. BITA, speculative name. Its green BOP has returned, so it's possibly want to send buy stops to the move above here, but not quite yet. I don't want to do it just yet. I need to see another up day before it takes out those highs if I'm going to do that. And then HBP, like I said, right now, it's not of interest. And then a current also buy stop. Those were actually buyback buy stop candidates. The actual buy stop candidate right now is Cray. Perfect speculator, scan quality name, Can Slim quality name, starting to base out sideways. I'm either going to set buy stops just above this high here in March, which would be around 43.79, or over here around this 42.49 level. I'm not quite, or wait, 42.49, yep, 42.62 level. So I'm not quite sure which level. Maybe I'll tier it half and half above each resistance level, but Cray is finally based out sideways long enough that everything has aligned correctly with the 50, the 10 days about ready to get back above the 20, so it's time to go ahead and set buy stops on this perfect speculator, high quality Can Slim name.